I think the most rewarding aspect is kind of the celebration as a team. Like, you gotta, you're still self-employed, but when you get the team gatherings and you get to celebrate each other's wins, and also just a lot of the cross business that happens within us because we have such a sweet database and great systems that really just working with the team that, especially now, like we have a team that really like gets along and really loves each other, and that has been very rewarding. Just like having people kind of pump you up sometimes when you're down, because everyone's business is kind of up and down. Sometimes you'll have 5 closings in one month, and the next month you're like, am I ever going to get a paycheck? And I've always had like James or Jason or someone who just pumps you up. Like they just keep you going. They keep motivating you, and that's really been rewarding for me, actually. Yeah, really, the whole thing was when I first started, for sure, is I didn't have much business first 3 to 4 months, and then all of a sudden, like 3 to 4 things went through. And so I had this one that was down in Corvallis that was just very difficult to get done. And to have this many people who were helping me with the inspection, who was helping me how to negotiate, they were helping me even how to just, Jason was really great at helping me just how to talk to my clients. That was one that, because that seller loved her to death, but she was a little more difficult to kind of communicate with. And just to have all these different voices and helping me, that was just amazing. Like that was just a really, and then it gives you confidence, and then it makes you want to help someone else when they go through something like that too. So again, just not being on a brokerage where they just say, hey, here's your desk, we're gonna throw a picture of you up on the Instagram, but actually people who come alongside you to help you answer questions. That was just key for my success early on. Well, I'm ADHD to the max, so my brain works in chaos. So this is an office of chaos often, and I really like that. Like I actually like how there's so many different things going on. There's so many different types of deals going on, and really just even different personalities that we work with. And so it really works well for my brain just to kind of have that on the fly mentality. And really, one thing to Jason's credit is he's a cool customer. Like nothing ever surprises him anymore. Nothing really gets him totally thrown off anymore. And so it's just nice having Jason here with 15 years of experience and over 1,000 transactions done to just help that kind of navigate some of those chaotic moments. But that's actually really fun to me to have constant, like, I don't know, just different things happening. It's just great for my personality style. Well, I mean, I've never done this before. Obviously, most people who are new don't. But the biggest adjustment I had to make was really just trusting the process. And I was a college athlete, so I always say like the best thing about sports, it's not even the championships or anything like that. There's a process to it. Like no one sees all the hard work you're doing before the game. And sports taught me how to lose. You're going to lose in real estate too. And so that was like really significant in the first few months just to have, I had to buy in. I had to buy into the system. I had to buy into the process that if you keep doing these things will happen. And it was difficult for the first 3 to 4 months for me because it didn't feel like anything was happening. But I just began to trust the system. I began to trust the process, and it helped me build a business very quickly that takes a lot of people, 4 to 5 years to build. This team helped me build it in like 1 to 2. So that was just very significant to have someone just come alongside in the team, say, if you just keep doing these things, then these good things will happen. And I still remind myself of that now because there's months where like last June, a month ago, I lost like 5 or 6 deals, and you're like, okay, that's a big hit. But then, I just kept grinding and kept doing what the basic things, like Jason says, do the basic things, and then good things start happening. So that was significant just to have, a team come alongside me to just keep saying, just keep doing these things. Definitely lead generation. Like, again, I guess I've never been anywhere else, but to just sit there and pay a bunch of money to Zillow and then expect a call, that's a lot of pressure, and that's a lot of kind of waiting around. But just to have the lead generation that we've had to where, weekly you're getting people just into your system, that has far exceeded my expectations. I've been doing this for, I think, 20 months now, and I have over 1,000 people in my database already. So it's just, one of those things where you can go pay a bunch of leads, and you go these scammer lead generation ones online, but just to come into a place that told you, place pun intended, that told you this is what you will get if you do this, and then they actually followed through on that. That has been just far and above anything I could have ever expected to start a career in real estate. Work with a team. I think a team is incredibly important. And really don't focus on the results, focus on the process. Like, just know that there's some people who come into real estate and their parents or their dad or someone like helped them get started. I'm not against nepotism. Like, I would love to see, if my daughter wants to do this or my son, I'm going to make sure they're set up. So that's not even an insult, but there's a lot who don't. And so if you don't have that, or you don't have a huge sphere, like, you got to be willing to grind, and a team helps you do that. And I would say, like, that's what I love about Rise Realty. That's what I love about working with Place, is that your success is set up, they hand it to you, then you got to do the work. But if you're just going to come in and then, if you just want to close a couple houses a year, and through your sphere, then that's one thing. But if you want to build a career out of this, get on a team, get on the systems, and then trust that process and watch that grow. No, I would just say, I just shout out to Jason, just because he is a big personality. And I think one thing I just want to say is that, when you get to know Jason and you really just understand him, he's one of the most generous people you'll ever meet. And he's not here to hurt anybody. He's not here to take anything from anybody. But he's very blunt, and I appreciate that about him. But I think Jason gets a bad rap, and I know he gets a bad rap because I've seen him do the most generous things when no one's looking, and I truly believe that he wants everybody's success. So if you ever want to come work for Rise Realty and you're willing to grind and you're willing to put in the work, this is a wonderful place to work. And I do think we have a culture now at Rise Realty where everyone is kind of on the same page. And it's just, but I also recognize not everyone can work here too. I recognize that. But if you're a person that's hey, I want to get after it and I want to get going, this is your place.